CBS NFL on their website, guess who they have the number one power ranked team in all of the NFL?
Am I?
Nope, sorry.
Not Miami?
49ers.
Uh,
It's the defense.
I do want to see San Francisco. Listen, I want to see a San Francisco Miami Super Bowl.
Ooh, not me.
I do because I want to see those two geniuses go against each other. I would love to see McDaniel go against his mentor.
That would be a good storyline. You do bring up a good point. He used to coach for the 49ers. You can give the storyline that Shanahan wouldn't let him call the plays, that he wanted all the power.
But to see those two offenses,
yeah,
and they're two of the highest scoring offenses, but they do it in different ways. Obviously, you have to have great skill position players. Niners have that. Dolphins have that aplenty.
That defense, though.
The defense of the Niners against that Miami offense.
That Vic Fangio defense, though, too, now.
Fangio trying to stop that running game of McCaffrey and Debo. And the one thing I think would be the factor in the San Francisco-Miami game would be George Kittle.
Yes, indeed. Great tight end.
And that would be, I wouldn't want Kittle to go off, because if there's one thing that if you look at the Miami offense, you're just saying, man, if they had like a capable tight end, and don't get me wrong, Drew Smythe is doing well and all of that, but he ain't George Kittle. You know what I mean?
But who is, other than Travis Kelce / Swift?
Or, Hawkinson or Mark Andrews. But if they had a just an average tight end, that Miami offense would be even more unstoppable. But I would love to see a Super Bowl between the Fins and the Niners. I see them as the two best teams right now in the NFL. But weren't we in the same situation last year?
Yep.
Weren't after that win against Buffalo, when the Dolphins were 3-0, I remember RG3 saying Dolphins are the best team in the league and all of that. I think you guys have seen that before.
Got to stay healthy.
Got to stay healthy and just got to finish. Can't go on a 5-game losing streak or anything like that.
CBS NFL, not so much sold on the Dolphins, because at number 2, our guy Trevor is excited about this. And a lot of people in South Florida are going to be excited about this. They have the Philadelphia Eagles at number 2 in the power rankings, which a lot of people, I know it's a popular take. Oh, the Eagles aren't what they were last year. Yeah, they are. They're as good as they were last year, and they've answered the call all year long, and they're getting everybody's best game. So the Eagles are a very, very, very worthy number 2, at least in my mind, of the power rankings.
Bitch at me if 3-0. And I just came from the Super Bowl. I'm not winning. Like, I don't get people. Like, I don't get even when the media does
It's
that.
a soft take. It's an obvious low-hanging fruit. They're not what they were.
Take, Kuzan. Like,
but people do it, but it sounds good.
Unless you got money on them and they're not covering for you, I don't want to hear anything.
They've answered the bell every time this year. They're 3-0. They look good doing it. They look smooth.
I don't care if they look good or not, because that's scary to me.
Yeah, but for that's a soft take. If anyone's given the take that they're not who they were last year. Yeah.
That's scary to me. That they were a good team. They're not playing as good as they did last season. They still 3-0. When they get their act together, what do you think is going to happen?
I think their act is together. They're just they're not sneaking up on anybody like they were last year. Now, number 3, this is interesting. This is one I don't like. Kansas City Chiefs, CBS says, is the 3rd best power rated team in the NFL. Is it all? It's just because of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Swift?
I think Travis Swift. That's funny. What they call Telsey?
Telsey? Oh, I like that.
They call Telsey, like Telsey. Yeah,
I like that.
I think it's because you did not see them with two key contributing players in week 1, which was Kelsey and Chris Jones.
Well, their 2nd and 3rd best player on the team didn't play that game, and they still almost won.
They almost won that game. And then when they did come, they
Jaguars.
They beat the Jaguars pretty good, and they mollywopped the Bears. So,
Vlad, you and I could hang with the Bears right now.
But I'm not going to put if there's 3 undefeated teams, those 3 undefeated teams should be ahead of a 1-loss Kansas City team.
The Dolphins coming at 4th. They say
that's weak.
This is what they say. They are downright scary on offense.
That's weak.
The Bills game Sunday will be the biggest proving game of the season so far.
That's weak.
Duh.
That's weak. They should be 3. They should be number 1 and number 2. I would have them. And, oh my God. Ooh, guys. Now, I'm going to say something very nice about Miami. Nobody's going to hear it though. They don't want to hear that. They're going to only hear when I say something bad. Miami should be either 1 or 2. I have them at number 1. If you're undefeated and the way you won, You won 2 games on the road in 2 tough places.
Yeah, like they got the toughest schedule.
You won at LA, and then you won in the division against New England on Sunday night. Then you play your first home game, and you drop
70.
A merciful 70.
No.
That's crazy.
Well, also,
you know how crazy that is for me to say, yeah, team dropped a merciful 70, meaning that they could have dropped more. They were being very kind, very nice. Maybe Mike McDaniel had, I used to be a ball boy for this team. Flashbacks. I would have dropped 77 on them. I don't care. F karma.
I don't worry about that. Now, look, I do also want to make another case for the Dolphins should be number 1 in the power rankings. Not only are you 3-0, not only did you win your first 2 games on the road, you've shown that you can win different ways. A shootout one week, gotcha. Then the next week, a dirty defensive battle,
and then
gotcha.
And a beatdown of epic proportions.
Against, let's be honest, a Denver team I thought that was going to go in there and they were trying to prove something like this is going to work. And they proved something, but it was not that it's going to work.
I said this last year, bro.
Whew.
Russ is washed.
Yeah. How did he fall off so fast?
I've never seen, dude, let me tell you something. There's nothing worse. Because now we're getting older. So we're getting to see greats, and we're getting to see how they end their careers, which is why I got to give Bron credit. Even though you see him slowing down, he hasn't fallen off as badly as
some players have.
Darrelle Revis was one.
Yeah.
Right. And there's plays that you can tell if you watch the game that you can tell you're like, all right, yeah, the engine light's coming. Like they could play a whole season and get away with it, but there's certain plays that you can see. You're like, yeah, the engine light's on. I remember with Darrelle Revis, it was a Thursday night game against the Bills where Marquise Goodwin just burnt him, just like made him look bad. And it was like, oh, even though it was one play, it was just the way it happened. The same thing's happening with Russell. If you looked at the numbers from Sunday's game, you would have thought, oh my God, he had a pretty good game.
300 yards.
It's not with the same impact anymore. Mm-hmm. It's not the same impact anymore. He's washed. Denver's got a problem.
Oh, they got a lot of problems.
You can't return this to Walmart and get your money back.
Seattle, great job, by the way, trading him when they did.
Pete did, and look what's happened. Look at the difference. Look what happened when Pete lets Russ go, traded for Russ, brought in put Gino as a starter.
I thought was washed
drafted up. Very well. They've drafted very well, and they made the wild card, and now they're 2-1. Meanwhile, in Denver, basically, you're looking at a game. They lose to the Bears on Sunday afternoon. I have a feeling that the backup quarterback that they gave the big contract
Stidham.
to, Jared Stidham. Might be the quarterback against the Jets.
That's what I was saying at the end of the game. A lot of people in the press box were like, why aren't they sitting Russell Wilson? I said, because they're resting Jared Stidham. Peyton wants to play Stidham. It's true. You mark my words. Now
he said that. Why they not playing Russell? Why they playing Russell? Because they're resting Stidham.
At least you laughed about it. Everybody else in the press box was all.
They probably Denver media.
Wait, no. They were guys from Miami. But wait till they see me next week and that happens, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, you were right." Now CBS has at number 5. They don't want to give up on the Bills yet until the Bills get stomped tomorrow. They put after losing week 1, they are rolling now.
I mean, they beat the Raiders, but
they're rolling.
They went into Washington and
defense came up big against Washington.
They
with 5
laid down
takeaways,
some legislative laws on
9
Washington.
sacks. Now they have to face Miami's explosive offense. Good luck. Okay, so now they're saying good luck against Miami. So 4 versus 5 according to CBS. Now when we go to the NFL power rankings, now Vlad, who do you think is number 1 in the overall NFL power rankings?
Fins got
That's right. We should have guessed that a team averaging 30 points and 462.5 yards of offense per game on the road would really be able to cook at home.
And here's the other thing that I'm beginning to see, and it started happening last year. So Dolphins fans, calm down. A lot of love for Tua.
Rightfully so.
Tua, we were trying to figure out why is Tua one of the most popular quarterbacks last season. I think people just people just like the kid. Like they love the young man for what he's done, for all the trials and tribulations that he's gone through, all the negative criticism, all the knocks. He's just somehow showed out, played ball. His teammates love him. And every time you see him on a nationally televised game, if he's not getting hurt, he's balling the hell out.
And they also go on to say, imagine if the Dolphins would have had Jalen Waddle on the field.
And the big fam, let me give you this. Let me give them props. That offensive line has been balling.
Yeah. No lie.
That offensive line has been balling. That man has not been touched. That man I don't think they got a grass on him. Not even a blade of grass on him.
One sack this season. He's been sacked once. I think hit 4 times. That's it.
4 times in 3 weeks?
Yeah, I know. Keep it up. Keep it up.
What?
That was the biggest question mark.
That O-line has been balling, and I can't believe this man has a quicker release than he already had. He might have a quicker release than he had last year.
Quickest release in football.
Might be even quicker. And you don't want to be a quick releaser.
And you may
if you're a quarterback.
You may have gotten a steal of a draft pick in the 3rd round with Devon Achane. He looked great.
Yeah, by Jeff Wilson Jr. I don't think.
Yeah. I forgot he was on the team. I'm not even lying. I forgot he was on the team.
I'm completely forgot that he was on the team to the point where he's coming out of IR. I was like, yeah, he might want to go back.
You got Raheem Mostert fast, Devon Achane fast. Oh yeah. And you got the cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Oh yeah. And you got Jalen Waddle. Oh yeah. And that's all on one offense. And you got the most accurate quarterback in the league right now. Yeah, 70 points in a game. That's easy. Should have gone for 77. I would have gone for it. But that's just me.